Put your family first. Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome. We appreciate you for tuning in today. Today is a special day. Hello, everyone. How's everybody? How's Dave, Heather, Chantel's new show? Chantel, show us, where are you? With Chantel. Are you one step closer? Yes. Where are you?
Are you here yet?
Right. That's what's up. And then we in the building. Fresh day today. Gonna be a good day. Excited about it. I'm excited because it's gonna be my friend and brother John Miles is joining us today, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey.
There he is.
Finally made it through.
Right. And Dr. Heather, how are you?
I am doing awesome today. Thank you.
Good. I'm feeling some type of way today. Mm-hmm. Right? And I think it's important that I share this. I feel as though the blessing that God has given me and has poured into this vision over the years. Today I feel, I was feeling good, getting out the car, and it hit me, as it always do, Dave, right? But it hit me today that today was a special conversation with someone, and I felt the change in that conversation. Mm-hmm. I felt that as though I held the keys. It was a feeling of empowerment, of influence, of knowledge. This is what I felt today, and it really felt good. It really felt good because that's what God do when you're obedient and you stick to what was put into your life to do. I just felt that the need to say that when you are obedient. My brother, oftentimes we would get together as a family and my brother would say, hey, where your Bible at? What you doing? And then my sister-in-law, she'll chime in and say, y'all better get right. Every time she left, she would say, y'all better get right with the Lord. I know where I'm going. Mm-hmm. She was famous for it, right? So, I'm feeling good, and then I wanted to share that moment. Chantel, can you show, before we get into our guest, the flyer for the upcoming Fatherhood brunch? Chantel, you was in the building last year when The brunch went down. Yeah, the fatherhood brunch. It's a celebration of fatherhood by women and children and the families, and it's really a great thing for fathers and the fathers who will be selected. We can't tell you who they are, but they know, and so these are three extraordinary men that you all are going to get to know. And then it's the men in the building, and it's the microphones and the mothers, and it's such a beautiful experience. We're looking forward to that on the 21st of June. So, with that being said, John Miles.
Talk to me, brother.
John, please, man, before we tell the people who John Miles really is. I think a lot of people just think you this gentle. They don't know the power of John Miles. So tell them who John Miles is.
So you want to know my title? Or
yes, your title. All about you, brother.
Wow. First of all, I do want to say thank you for allowing me to be in your presence today. Even though I know over the years, spiritually, we've been in each other's presence 24/7.
Yes, sir.
So, to introduce myself, I'm the Wayne County Fatherhood Initiative Coordinator. Named John Miles by my parents. My responsibilities to make it short, to create partnerships with organizations, agencies regarding supporting fatherhood sources, resources, fatherhood services, fatherhood support. Been involved in having this title for like the last 10 years. I work in between Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network and the Children's Center. Over these 10 years, I've been blessed to be able to learn from many individuals such as yourself, Calvin, as you know. And that's my job, to increase fatherhood engagement. It's been an uphill battle, learning what the system is, learning how to operate within the system, and to create pathways to help support our dads. And I'll lay it like that. Other than, hey, I'm a native Detroiter. Between me and my wife, 5 children, even though one has passed away. And that's me.
Okay. So you're going to give us this little midget bio. Okay, we're going to take that one. I know you, right? Yeah, right. So tell the people about your experience, from where you went to high school, and how you arrived to this position, because this is about John. See, a lot of people don't know John Miles. When he said resources, he is the connector. That's why it's Fatherhood Connection. He's the connector, and so he always, no matter what, do that work to make sure that we stay on course, because it can get a little individual, and he always keeps us going together. So just share a little bit, brother.
Well, first of all, to know me is to know that the foreground has never been me. It's been those that I work with, those organizations I support. That's what needs the attention. I'm really a laid-back guy, and I have to be reminded by my peers like yourself and those that I work here at the Children's Center with exactly who I am when they say you're the Wayne County Fatherhood Initiative Coordinator, which means you coordinate for all Wayne County. And I have to remind myself of my position every now and then. But hey, I was born and raised near the Jeffrey Projects. Ended up moving to the west side, and I attended Detroit Redford High School. one of the original DPE. Um, how I eventually entered into supporting fathers. I was doing it subconsciously, not trying to look at trying to get a degree in regards to supporting dads, going into clinical work. That was never me. I was in the sports. Played basketball here at Detroit Redford. Went to Highland Park Community College. Was with the team that went 30-6 one year, 40-2 the second year, ranked number one in the nation. So my shouts go out to those teammates that are still here on this side of the dirt. Uh, and I love those brothers and have always been supportive of them. I eventually went to New Mexico. Something that always told me that, you know, sometimes you have to leave from where you're accustomed to, your surroundings that you feel so comfortable with, and discover what else is out there in the world, and also get to learn how other cultures live as well. But I went there and I got a degree in media. Came back here, attended Wayne County Community College, and was the first one to receive a digital media degree. Um, but as you know, that still doesn't say anything in regards to fatherhood.
Right.
Uh, so what touched me was the young people I grew up with when I came back here, and they were wondering, Mr. Miles, bro, man, why you didn't go pro? And didn't want to tell them is that I didn't push myself to go ahead and put me in a position to either become drafted or undrafted. It was never my intention because I was raised by parents that mindset was you're either going to work for the city
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to the army. It wasn't nothing else in regards to creating your own pathway.
Right.
Uh, but these young guys, they were trying to find their way in life, and for some reason, I guess I attract people with a light on my head that says, "Hey, why don't you talk to this guy because he'll listen to you." Okay. So I'm just trying to figure it out. But
Right.
I engaged in conversations to find out how these young people were living, what they wanted to do, and some of the struggles that they were going through. Not having no type of resource to provide to them, so I just kick it to them from common sense.
Right.
But never being judgmental. A lot of young guys I knew, hey, they were selling drugs and doing the other things, and they just wanted to live their life. And I would tell them, hey, I cannot sit here and judge you because you're telling me the reasons why. You're just trying to support your household. Uh, you're just trying to make through the next day, but you knew that the life that you were living was putting you in jeopardy, especially if you had a child. You're putting that child in jeopardy of losing the father.
Right.
I'm just trying to save a life. You know. Eventually, the funniest thing was when I left New Mexico with a degree. The first job that I actually had, and I'm sitting there with a bachelor's degree. The first job that I had was a batter man for Popeyes. So it shows you no matter what skills you have, what talents you have, what experience you have, sometimes you got to start at the bottom and work your way back up to the top.
Yes, sir.
And so uh, my mindset was I'm not going to be here for 4 years trying to figure my way out. Within a year, I had my own store, but I left from there because it wasn't the surroundings that I needed for me to survive.
Right.
Eventually, I got connected with this organization called Family Alliance for Change. I was a parent support partner, and that would push me into starting to support and listening and being in a position to help our dads because there are very few parent support partners that are male. So I became the poster child, the African American poster child to support dads who needed help because they were trying to help their child who had behavioral issues. And so I began to learn.
Right.
Uh, After that, it becomes more of a traction in regards to those dads that needed help. Eventually, that organization dissolved, and I ended up being handed over the the belts, the trophy, the whatever you want to call it, in regards to being the Wayne County Father Initiative coordinator. And I didn't believe it because you know me, Cab. I'm like, if it's not in my hands, if it's not so I can grab it, I don't believe it. But
Right.
being told that I was going to be moved into this position,
Right.
which did show me there were some people who really supported me in regards to my skills and the possibilities what I could bring in regards to helping support fatherhood. From there, you know, my path led me to you, and it's been it's been a ride that we've been taking advantage of and trying to make this work ever since.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Dave, Heather, either one of y'all got a question?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay, great. John, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, well, thank you. Good to see you.
You too. I want to hear about your journey as a young man. So let's say like teenage years. What were you doing at 14, 15, 16?
Wow. Okay. To understand that, I have at 14, I discovered that I had a sister with 9 kids.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't even ask the question to my parents, like, where did she come from in these kids? You know, it was just, we're going down to picking up your sister and her kids and bringing them to Detroit. Now, I'm the youngest of 4. It's a 20-year difference between me and my older brother and my sister who's passed away years ago, and my middle brother with 10 years so apart. So I grew up as almost like an only child because there was no engagement with me due to the age gap. But you know, I lived in a neighborhood which was a surprise to me till I was like 20 something years old. I was living in a neighborhood where every household had a mother and a father. Uh, and it was really healthy. I mean, you're talking about to be able to walk around the corner and there's 15 to 20 kids with you, and there was no fear in regard to the parents because the parents knew every single child that was out there on that corner, and I was the original Radio Raheem. I had the big radio walking around to find the entertainment, you know. But yeah, it was until I was in my mid-20s when I started hearing the title of single parent household. I am like, did somebody pass? Did your dad pass away or mom pass away? It's like, no, I just grew up with my mom, and I'm like, what? Where did single parent household come from? Because I'm used to 2-parent household. So that became another learning lesson from me to understand that.
What up, dog? What up? So, brother Dave.
Yeah, you said that you wanted to help the men out there who had the struggles and had no real pathway to go. Do you recall your first time talking with a single father who was in need, and how did you assist him? Because there's so many men out here who is trying to find directive. And so I remember my first case dealing with a client. Do you happen to recall the first person you helped when it come down to fatherhood? Well,
to be truthful, the first father that I was working with, he was actually still living at the home. It was him, the mother, and several kids. Um, my responsibility was to engage with the dad in regards to get him more engaged with his kids because he was just free for all. You know, the mom was more concerned and started to open up in regards to what she felt was lacking in the household. You know, the dad, he doesn't do this, the dad doesn't do that. And so uh, it started really with conversations asking him what was his expectations of being a dad. You know, and then that's when I learned using the method that I call the domino effect, where once he would tell me what was one of his barriers that he was facing, and say, you know, I can't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've learned initially was everybody's trying to tackle why he's not having a job, why he doesn't have a job. I said, well, we got to move back. He should have a job. Well, what's the first barrier that's stopping you? Why don't I have my license? Okay, let's take a step back. Why do you don't have your license? I said, well, you know, I ran through some issues and I lost my license. Well, what will it take to regain your license? And we kept moving back until we say, okay, we need to knock out these blocks right here
Mm-hmm.
so we can take care of you having a job. Because what you're looking at now is like you're trying to financially support and you can't do it. So let's just work with in regard to you being in the presence of your kids.
Awesome.
Very good.
Awesome. So John, you have, as a matter of fact, we're gonna do the commercial, and then we're gonna come back to you, John, and get into this event you have coming up.
Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with the growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
Yes. Good. So John, let's get into your annual fatherhood event. When is that, and what really got you into doing this conference?
Fatherhood Forum. Yes, it's coming up June 26th at Greater Grace Church. This is on the west side, 23500 West 7 Mile Road. This will be the 13th annual. I've been thankful to say, Calvin, you've been a solid part and helping me in regards to keeping it going, uh, supporting the forum, um, which once again, like I tell everybody, is not about me. Um, it's about the organizations I bring there to be supported, and for agencies to reach out, try to create and develop relationships with organizations that they never knew about, you know. And I've been thankful in regards to doing this event with a lot of support, with a lot of help, and it's been a success every year. Even during COVID, we we
Mm.
we, we did it then. You know, we had to become really uh, innovative in regards to doing it because this is an in-person event.
Right.
So for us to go virtual, oh, that was a challenge, but we made it through.
Yes.
Um, Now, this my first year that I really was a part of the Fatherhood Forum. I wasn't the coordinator, so this is my first time attending, and I'm seeing how things go. They had uh, welcomings by the CEO from Detroit Wayne and from the Children's Center. They had a keynote speaker, uh, several workshops, resource tables. Um, Really, a sight to be held. You have to be there. Uh, this is what I learned, though, as I began to go out to other forums and conventions and seeing how they operated and what information that they provided. And I can tell you 90% of those events were introducing high level information and data to individuals actually working within the system to talk about man, talk about fatherhood. Uh, but I found out talking to dad that, yeah, I would have been there, but, due to uh, my educational level, I really couldn't grasp the numbers that you're telling me. You keep telling me, okay, 1 out of 4 households, you know, they're dad present. It's like, okay, but how is that helping me? I'm there, but I need support in other areas.
Right.
So my mindset was, you know what? How does song go? Gotta get the people what they want.
Get the people what they want.
Hey, so I started looking at like what are some of the needs that dads have in regards to one, engaging with their children, two, to be successful and to continually to give back. So I started hearing about Friend of the Court. I started hearing about uh, Children Protective Services. I started hearing about agencies that provide job fair information. All these things. I'm like, why do I don't invite those organizations to the event? So now you got a dad that's there all day that took a day off from work if he has a job, or he's made his way to this event. He's going to be there for 8 hours. But once he leaves from there, it's not just going to be about, oh, that was a very inspirational, spiritual conversation and speech that was given. I got to learn about what's happening at Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, even though I don't have a child that's dealing with behavioral health issues. I'm hearing from the Children's Center, but once again, that's an agency that's been serving children, not adults, for almost 100 years. But I need help.
Right.
So there you go. And my promise is always to, once a dad walks in and spends his day there, not only can he connect to organizations that he might not realize is in his neighborhood, could be right down the street, just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
but he's able to make contact with individuals that he can talk to face, get information, contact numbers, and walk out with something tangible in his hands that he knows the next day he can make that phone call. He'll get in touch with that person that he talked to.
Right.
They'll have the services that he's trying to request and get. And plus, it's free and I feature.
Good points.
All good points. Anybody got a question? Before I get to rolling, you know I'll steal the show.
Yeah, I have more questions.
Already.
That's right. I came prepared. John, tell us about your journey into becoming a husband. So we heard a little bit about your journey into manhood. Now, how about your journey into becoming a husband?
Now to understand what I told you earlier, that I'm the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had older parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never had that conversation, sit down, son, let me tell you about things in regards to life and relationships. Never had that.
Mm-hmm.
From my brothers, I never had that. So what I had to help me understand first relationships is through the father figures that I had within the neighborhood. Okay, so I got a lot of my learning from there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Now, here's a tough thing in regards to when you're talking about being a husband, getting married. It's a commitment. Okay. And when I left from school in New Mexico, came home, and you're gonna walk with me, my first wife. I'm on number 2, but my first wife, we started dating, and we're adults. And my mind is like, I done did everything that I believe I wanted to do. You know, I done went to school, went to college, went out of state, started working, building myself up, and here I'm dating this individual. And what is my purpose in the dating? Because what I learned was the final step is marriage. So why are we still dating? So I'm like, have we've been going out, hanging out, joining each other's company and conversations. Why are we not taking that next step? Because that's all I knew in regards to 2 individuals living in the same house, one male, one female. If y'all living there, sharing the bills, the only thing missing is that legal document, really, to say, hey, we should be together, And so we got married, had my son in that relationship. And what I found out also was that marriage is another school that you go to because you start learning in regards to what a relationship is.
Right.
That's when you find out that, I like things one way and she like things another way. And how do we make this work? Sadly to say that marriage did end, but we're still good friends because even though my son is grown, we still raise him and still have those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So
Right.
I am on wife number 2, and every day is still a learning experience because of the conditions, the expectations, and I always tell you, it's always expectations. I tell my kids now, as you're out here dating, your dating should now be like an interview because you have your life plan that you had put together before you met this individual. Obviously, this other individual had their life plans.
Yeah.
You have to get to know their family. Because I remember them days when if I brought anybody over, out of my mom's mouth was, who's your people? I need to know who's your people is so we can figure out if this is going to be a good fit.
Right.
So yeah, marriage is, like I said, that is that holy ground, and I'm learning in regards to you have to work at it to make it work. It's not just going to fall into place. If it does for some people, oh, I'm happy for you.
Right.
But every day is to make it work with who we are and what we want to be and continue to be.
Okay, so this is just a quick one. This is about advice. So when you think
that's the last question
about young fathers or that are coming now into relationships and marriage, what piece of advice would you give them?
Oh, I would tell them really, even before you think about marriage, because that really is the problem that we're having now. When you talk about not having that male figure in the household, in regards to what's your expectations, in regards to first having a true relationship and moving that true relationship to being married. And we joke about you got to wake up with that person every single day.
Right.
Yes, you do.
Bad feet, corners hurt. And any problems that may arise during the day, it needs to be resolved or put on hold before that head hits the pillow. Yeah.
That's what I would give.
Thank you. I'm sure I just stole your question. That's why you falling apart.
So, Brother John, what do you, right? Think about this one. What do you all do for fun?
Oh man, we date. I
Yeah.
mean, my current wife, our first. You gotta understand, we were both coming out of situations in regards to relationships that was her husband had passed away.
Okay.
And we were friends then. We both went to the same high school, but we never really touched base or did anything from after high school, and even in high school throughout.
Right. Then she started.
Close. No,
He said close.
but what I'm happening, we just started talking. I wanted to be a supportive friend. It's like we created the atmosphere where we got away from all the negativism that was around us. Like her dealing with every day. My husband passed away. It's like let's just hang out and talk about other things. Me dealing with past relationships and trying to get myself together. It was just a time just to come together and hey, let's hang. So our first trip was going downtown, riding on the People Mover. We went out for dinner and had a good time talking, even though her phone was blowing up constantly. And she kept trying to tell me, "Well, that's my son calling." Yeah. But guess what? During that time, I had to, push back any thoughts of, "You, my woman, you out here with me." Cut the phone off. No, it was understandable. Hey, I'm not going to lose anything. This is my friend, and we'll remain being friends unless we decide to take it to another level.
Obviously, you took it to another level, brother.
You jumped that roof.
Yeah, and that's good. And so, John, I since my question was stolen earlier, right? What I'd like to know is, of all the things you've accomplished in life, what is the one thing you have not accomplished yet that you want to achieve in life?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm an unselfish type of guy. You know, my day starts off with when I leave from home. I kiss my wife, say I love you, because I don't want the last words that may be spoken to be negative.
Right.
When I get to work, and this is not due to 9/11 or anything else negative, but I want to make sure everybody that I bump into that they're having a good day because I can control my emotions. But I don't know if they woke up just on the bad side of the bed, and what I want them to be able to say at the end of their day, if everything was negative, they can say, you know, John did hold the door for me and asked me how I was doing and told me to have a great day. So really, I want to be able to, and you know, God willing, it happens, but I just want to be a part of it to let it be known that I was part of a legacy that helped build support for fatherhood to be able to say that I had an impact in regards to some of the changes that were made to help support fathers and to have my kids to be able to look back and say, that was my dad and he tried.
Okay.
I know that probably didn't answer the question because I don't have an end goal.
No, brother.
Kindness is a blessing, and I thank you for even having a desire to be kind in this time where people need it so desperately. So thank you. That's an amazing goal. It's an amazing driving force. So thank you, John.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, John. So, John, what you got to do for me, you just got to look in the camera. Before you sign up, you got to look in the camera and say your full name and say, encourage me. I'm young.
This is John Miles. Hanging with my man, Calvin, man. And we just saying, encourage me. I'm young.
John, we thank you, man. We appreciate you.
All right, brother John.
We looking forward to, you know, what's coming down the pipe. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to have you in the battle of fatherhood. Right? It's nothing like having good quality dads in your life that you can learn from and lean on, and you're one of those dads. And so I appreciate you coming on today, sharing your story. And is there anything you'd like to share before you?
Well, I do on Cal. I really, brother. I've seen you over the past 10 years work. And whether or not I 100% agree with what you're saying, or some of the time like, ooh, he went kind of deep on there. But, bruh, I appreciate the work that you do. And when I say I appreciate it, really, and a lot of, like I said, unless you know me, I don't need the wars. I don't need the newspaper clippings, whatever. I just want the work to be done.
Yeah.
And I see it in regards to those individuals like yourself that do the work, that stand by your word, and say, you know what, we're not going to just be talking, we're going to do action. So, dude, I forever appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. You know, there you go with that kindness again. I'll be hearing in the car, why you can't be kind like John?
You just display it different. That's all. Yeah, that's all. She just didn't see it.
There you go.
It's just a different. It's a different type of presentation. He got to go deep. That was it. She got to go deep so she can see it.
You go high, I go low. There we
you
go.
go. You know, there you go. There you
Well,
go.
John, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Love you to pieces, man. And I look forward to seeing you real soon, man.
All right, love you back. Stay blessed, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
John. So we know what y'all gonna talk about.
Right. Right. It's funny how, even next week's guest out of this brother, Brian, next week, this brother is he's passionate. He like doing Brian K. McNeil. Is our next guest for Monday. He's passionate, he's driven. And it's the same. He's going to do it a different way. The reason why I love these interviews is because you get a different variety of men that you have not seen. See, we hide these men, which all they get is the players and the down lows and the half crosses, and they miss good quality men. And so it's important that we.
You say half crosses.
Yeah. Anything is possible today.
Okay.
I'm a flower pot.
Well, all righty then.
Today, they be I identify as a flower pot. Pour water.
That's funny.
Right. Right, but it's just good, right? And I'm looking forward to. We got some more interviews down the road, and then on the 19th we're bringing in the gunman. Crystal gonna come in and shoot up the finance.
Crystal.
Right. So, Heather, if you will, please say something kind.
I pulled something out. I guess that's my cue to not say anything.
We can hear you.
You want me to just say something kind? You just picking on me.
No, I want you to speak, baby, so you can, and then tell them where they can reach you at.
Well, how about I do this? One of the life lessons that I took from John's conversation today is that we are not going to stay the same.
That's
that
right.
We're going to keep growing and evolving, and recognizing that even the choices that we make today, as we continue to grow and develop, are going to continue to expand who we are. And I just appreciate him sharing that, where you come from, where you're going, there is a dash between, and that dash gives you the opportunity to choose. And so that's what I have taken away from what John shared with us today. And I can be reached at yourinspiredjourney.com, or you can reach me by phone at 313-759-7855.
Brother Dave?
Yeah, I guess what I took away from John's presentation was the fact that he values the moment, because life is so unpredictable. And when he walks out the door, he kisses his wife and let her know that she is valued. I think there was a Jarheem or something said something about, I want to make sure I say what I say before, because I might not get back home. I can't remember the title. Mm-hmm. But he shows his wife value. And then he goes into the community and he shows people value. So while he is present, he makes sure that people have value, because you never know the day or the hour. So he's busy while it's light. So I really appreciate that. Oh, you can reach me at drom7@yahoo.com and FMAM 4 Men About Men on Facebook.
So, a lot of y'all, John is different. John Miles was, the first time I met John Miles, I was down by Castech High School. He walked in the building, there was men from all over, and everybody was having these conversations. I seen my young man, Quinn Wright, and who played football with my nephew, and we are all in there talking, and John walks in, and me being a former hooper, I may not be built like it these days, but me as a former hooper, we kind of connected right away, right? And then as time went on, right, because I got a good memory, so I was trying to zero back in on the reference basketball team back in the day, right? Because playing against a lot of them guys, right, was a treat, right? And so we hit it off right away. Then he invited me to events, and then we started exchanging. But every time he invited an event, I told him, I said, the one thing I can give you, brother, is loyalty. So whenever he had an event, boom, I was right there. And we began to show up for each other and have conversations. And then when we had a conversation over at Tim Hortons, and we really took the relationship further, right? And we understood that what we was up against, which is good because it's nice to work with somebody who is kind and down to earth and not as emotional, and can be stoic and still show up, and right. I haven't never heard him move fast in anger or any of that, right? But the one thing that stood out and stands out in this relationship is the fact that John proved to me, like you have proven to me, like so many other fathers who have proven to me, the reason why a collaboration in what we're getting ready to do is so important, because it's not just fatherhood, brotherhood, manhood, right? It's all of that, where we are humble enough as men to learn from each other. That's a huge dynamic that should be across this nation. We have a complete misunderstanding about what men are supposed to be across the board because of the disorder of things. As I was sharing earlier, that I just think that we're out of order, and then we have this expectation that it would correct itself without the necessary action. And our women and our children and our boys and our girls in this country is out of order, and so chaos is normal now. And the only thing, in my opinion, that can really stem the tide and correct some of these things is a fatherhood revolution. And it has to come in the fact that it's order. I've listened to a lot of shows. I've watched a lot of things. And one of the most masculine things I hear coming from women is, I chose him. And every time she's in that position to have to choose, it's okay for her to write it. It's okay for her to want it. But if she is the one that decided, it is 9 out of 10 times going to be a problem. When a man makes up his mind to marry a woman, a healthy man, a healthy husband, a healthy father, right? When he makes up his mind to marry a woman, it doesn't look, you can feel the authentic behavior. There have been some men who have faked it and did it. Black men and white men, you gotta stop killing these women. You gotta stop. We gotta cut all of that and murder these boys and these white boys and these black boys and these black. Y'all just out here. You gotta stop killing these women, because you can't get to where you're gonna go when you're that way. We're out of order, and so the misdirection is only good in football. In relationships and family, you can't have a misdirection. The man must have the skill set to merge with the wife's skill set to make sure that that process is in order. How do I talk to her? How does she receive me? The whole night. The thing that I really, really, again, love from this work, and why we still go at it and why we're in it, is because I know some good fathers. And they dope. And I have no problem giving it up. I love Dave and John and Victor and Miles and Tony and Derek. I love these men, right? Because not only do they love me, but the respect that we have as men, it's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. And if we can get our boys to see, like we did with the Reading is Life campaign, right? If we can get the boys to see, it really makes a difference. Tune in next week. Our guest is Brian K. McNeil out of South Carolina. I truly, truly, truly thank you all. I thank you, Heather and Dave, once again for another good show. My name is Dr. Kelvin T. Mann. God bless you and encourage me. I'm Young. Peace.